All right, everyone. Good afternoon. We're here live at the Wolfram Summer Research Institute. This is the last day of the program, and we are here on the poster session. We're going to be talking to some of the students. We're going to show you how the ambience is, and so you guys can have a little feeling of what's this last special day is about. So let's go around and show a little bit of the people here. There are some posters there. People have been chatting with their mentors. All the posters are hanged here. Each of these posters was developed as an individual project from one of the students here. So let's walk around and talk to some of the students. If you guys have any questions, just pop in the chat here and we'll be happy to answer. So let's start it here. So let's see. Let's see some people here. Logan, how are you?
Doing all right.
We're live on the YouTube channel.
Oh, wonderful.
Where's your poster? Can we go there?
Yes.
Yes. So come on, let's see the first one. Yes. This is Stephanie, the director of the program. Say hello. We're live on YouTube. Do you have something to say?
Can I get back to you on that?
Of course, we're gonna go back to that. Let's go to the first poster here. So let's say, where's your poster, Logan? Okay. So, okay, all right. So we are here with Logan Gilbert. Logan is from Yale University. He has participated in a lot of programs. Can you please explain a little bit for people who are not familiarized with the concept they are presenting here? Can you say a little bit what your poster is about, what the project is?
Absolutely. So my project, let me take this. My project is about sequential substitution systems, which the easiest way to think about them is as you would any sort of search and replace feature in any text editor, where it has a set of rules that it replaces by and scans whatever string you give it from left to right, replacing according to those at each step. So my project was to come up with an enumeration scheme for those, as well as in the end, just exploring certain small cases and just trying to find interesting patterns, whether that be growth rate. In the future, I'd also like to look for termination and decay rate given large enough starting conditions. But yeah, that's my project in short.
Great. And it's not the first time that you come to the Wolfram programs, right? You've been in others. So.
Indeed, yes. I've been primarily previously at the Wolfram High School Summer Research Program, 2 years as a student, twice as a TA, 1 year as a lead TA, and last year as a mentor. So
that's really nice. And do you have any kind of message for people that are watching us that want to join the program?
I would say if you have an interest in truly like broadening your computational outlook, your computational approaches to things, and just like being able to do an interesting project in a community of, really, really talented, really like well-intentioned people who are just like good people to have a conversation with, to learn from, and just overall really enriching space. These programs, both high school and Summer Research Institute programs, are both really good things to do and look into.
All right. Thank you very much, Logan, and have a nice poster presentation. Let's move on. Myrtle, where's your poster? So we have in Greek, we will say.
In Greek, what we will say?
Your name.
Oh, Myrto is my name in Greek.
Okay, so Myrtle developed this nice project with Mas Piskunov as a mentor. So Myrtle, we're live on YouTube. A lot of people are watching, maybe people from Greece. And can you explain your poster for those who are not familiarized? What is a cellular automata in a very simple way?
Yeah, of course. So essentially, cellular automata are self-evolving structures. So essentially, what you see here in this image may look complicated, but it's really not. It's just a bunch of black and white cells. So we can have some black and some white cells. Maybe I have black, white, black, white. Maybe I have white, black, black, for example. And we just have these rows of cells. And we apply some rules to these cells, and we see how they evolve. So essentially what we're trying to do here is we have a periodic structure. What periodic means is something that is repeating. So you have something that is repeating, and what we do is to make it more interesting, because that by itself is not very interesting. We try to poke it a bit. We try to disturb, to add the perturbation, and we see how it evolves. So what you see here in these pictures these kind of weird structures are the perturbations that we insert in order to see how they evolve. So in these weird graphs up here, you see essentially the size of the perturbation. So what we're trying to do is essentially trying to model different classes of behaviors. So we have some simpler behaviors, maybe some perturbation does not grow at all, or maybe disappears completely. We have some behaviors that are more complex, like they might grow, or they might grow periodically, they might grow more chaotically. So what we're trying to do is classify these types of behavior over here.
Great. And this is a very nice work, but I'm very curious about what was your experience here after these 3 weeks of program? What can you say to us?
I can say that it's a very, very nice experience. I think it's a very good thing to do because you spend 3 weeks fully dedicated to what you're doing. So you're fully dedicated to your project. I think I learned a lot, especially computationally, not only theoretically but also computational skills. So of course, better coding skills, but also better knowledge on some computational models that I was interested in. But I also think that it's very good to focus on the research completely for 3 weeks, and this is the way you get a good project. But also socially, it's an amazing experience. I've met a lot of people here, my friends, my mentor, and everyone is just amazing.
Great. Thank you very much.
of
And have a
course.
nice poster presentation.
Thank you so much.
Let's walk around a little bit. Let's show oh, we have some people discussing Stephen Wolfram. Let's speak it a little bit there. Oh, I have someone that I think it's nice. So this is Bob Nachbar. Can we talk a little bit with you, Bob?
A little bit.
Okay, Bob.
Okay, we're done.
It's a Bob, it's a pleasure. We are live on YouTube. So
Okay.
people from all over the world are seeing us. You have been here around for a while, right?
I have, yes. This is like my 7th or 8th summer school.
What?
Yes. Not as a student,
Yes, but as a mentor, right?
as a mentor, yeah.
So since you've been here for a while, what can you say about does every year students are different or they have some similarities between them?
The biggest similarity is that they are young and full of ideas, full of energy, surprising, sometimes frustrating, but generally enjoyable. The projects they do are spectacular, and the variety is really good. This year, I think I saw a lot of social interaction among the students, hanging out together, doing stuff together, which is really great to see. Everyone was not just off in their room doing their own thing. So acting as a, a group was wonderful to see this year.
And how is your mentor's perspective about the program? Do you see that the spark in people's eyes and they're like happy because they develop a project and making friends,
No,
creating
the stage
network?
lights are too bright. I can't see the. Yes, in my one-on-one interactions with students, I do see that. I do see the ahas when they get it. And, thank you so much for helping me on this problem or whatever, which is also, very rewarding. I just like to help students do a good job.
Thank you very much. I was looking very much to talk to you. Thank you very much for your time. So let's go around. As I mentioned, there are some students here. They're talking with Steven. So usually Steven comes into this. Of course, he's here for the whole program, but let's just give it a try. Steven is here. So he's talking to students about poster sections. Let's go around and talk to more students. Xerxes. Okay, so no Xerxes now. We'll get to him later. So let's see. Maybe Dugan. Hey, come here, Dugan. How are you?
Hello, Lucas.
We're live from YouTube. So
Yeah.
you have been a mentor here, not only for the Wolfram Summer Research Institute, but also for the high school program. So what can you tell us about the program a little bit?
The program is really great. It's which program are you asking about?
Both, like what's the energy? What's the difference between the high school program and the Summer Research Institute?
The high school program is a lot more structured throughout the day. So we have a rigid schedule, and we're working with the students in the morning for a couple hours before lunch, and then after lunch until dinner. Basically, there's some like activities that they have sprinkled in. But mostly it's like we have like a 6 to 7 like hours with the students in scheduled project time. And so the amount of work is just tremendous. And it's really fun. The kids are really bright and they have a lot of energy.
That's amazing. And from your perspective as being a mentor and staff here in these programs, what do you think about it? What nice things do you see here among the students?
I really like the diversity of projects. The It's very broad ranging, everything from like, neuroscience to cellular automata to computation and astrophysics, orbital mechanics, three body problem, and black holes, geometry in its own right. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much for your time. And let's walk around a little bit. Thanks, Dugan. All right, we have some people here that are talking about their posters. Let's see if we have some other people here. Let's come here. Hey. There are some people here that are busy. Let's show it to the audience, please. There's people here working on their posters, just discussing a little bit. Let's see if we can get a word from them. Hey, hi.
Hi, how are you
So
doing?
what's your name again? David Solagio. Can you show us a little bit? We're live from YouTube.
Oh, you do?
So David here is a student.
Yes.
And where are you from again?
I'm at the University of Southampton.
Okay, that's nice. So can you just explain your project like very briefly, especially for those who are not experts in the field? Like, can you explain in a very simple way?
Yeah, so I was just trying to use the Wolfram language to produce nice black hole visualizations. That's the spirit of the project. And well, the main idea is that we can see black holes because of how they interact with their surroundings, and in particular, how they bend light around them. And what I did was, we have these really good images like in the Interstellar movie or the 2019 Event Horizon Telescope collaboration. And I thought, okay, these images are really nice. I am familiar with the equations, but I have no idea of how you go from the equations to getting these images. So let me do a bit of a deep dive. I went to Keats and the Double Negative Team original work. It's a really nice paper for those that haven't read it. It's beautifully explained. And I just said, okay, let me do just the most basic thing of doing some light trajectories and seeing how light moves around black holes and produce some plots. And yeah, this is one of the results. This is a render of you have a really hot disk of spinning matter around a black hole. And because it bends light around it, that's what you would see. So that's what all the projects.
And what can you say about your experience here in the last 3 weeks?
I think it's been really stimulating. It's been really interesting to get to, first of all, step away from what I usually do, which is just solving equations and doing research, and spending some time thinking about how can I communicate this research. I think that's been a lovely experience. And it's also been great to have a lot of chats with people from basically many different backgrounds and communities. I've learned a lot from really random topics that I wasn't even aware that they existed. So yeah, I would say it's been really intense, but really rewarding and fun to be here. Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks,
And have a nice poster presentation. So let's move on. Let's see if we have more people here. Let's talk to one of the mentors here, Montesinos. Yes, we're live from YouTube.
Hello.
Can I have a word? Montesinos here is a mentor here for the school, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit what kind of, what's the track that you're mentoring and what's your background, please?
Yes, my students were of the side of applied mathematics, so some simulations about partial differential equations and some inverse problems, and also investigating some sequences of numbers. My background is about mathematics and physics, and also I do a little bit of natural language processing.
And how was this experience for being a mentor here at the school? Can you share a little bit?
Yes, it is a really nice experience because you need to understand the ideas of the people that you're mentoring and give some suggestions, understand the language, and also they not just that, but what else can I do for you? No, because it's like, okay, it is not just from here to here. It's okay. Now you have the limit here. Let's go a little bit beyond. So was a nice experience. A little bit tired, but was a nice school.
Really nice. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Let's move on a little bit. Let's come here. Yes, Pablo, come here. You're being nominated. Where's your poster? Let's go to your poster. Let's go there. Come here, please, Max. Let's go. I want to see your poster. Yes, so we're coming. Yes.
To go because I have plane at 10 p.m. and I'm about to leave about 7:50.
Can you just talk to Stephanie about this? We're live on YouTube.
Just now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's go to Pablo. Pablo, yes. So Pablo, we're live on YouTube here. Yeah, say hi to everyone.
Hi, everyone.
So we are here with your poster. Can you please explain for people who are not experts on the field, how would you explain this in a very simple way? What is the project that you worked in for the past 3 weeks?
Okay, so I've been working in something called Casimir effect. That is, if you think of the vacuum, think of for someone that is not familiar with the subject, you could think maybe in a jar. And if you start like leaving out air and then all the little molecules and then leave the jar like completely empty, you will have there something called almost a perfect vacuum. And in that perfect vacuum, then you can do something that is quantize the field. And the vacuum has the lowest energy level of all the fields of the quantum field theory. So the idea is that the vacuum is not actually always just like that in a vacuum. It has interaction with someone, some kind of boundary, some kind of restraint. And if you do that, you could observe some kind of energy emerging from that interactions.
So what is this? What does this mean, this picture of your graph?
So you could think of this plot as a kind of box that is inside the vacuum, and we change the parameters of the box. That is, we can change the shape a little bit, the size, make one larger, make two larger, make the two like just scale the thing and see what is happening. At the corner of the plot, you will see that we have just a cube of 1 by 1 by 1. And for example, here will be the ratios of the sides. And between the ratios of the sides, we will start seeing changes in the density of the point zero energy. So, well, that's perfect.
Thank you. And how have you been these 3 weeks of working on your projects, working with your mentor, getting to know people, living this experience? What can you tell us about that?
It's been amazing. I've learned a lot, and all the people here are quite, especially choose to be a great community. So yeah, it's been one of the best experiences in my life. I recommend it all of that.
Okay, thank you very much. Have a nice poster presentation. Let's see if we can find Ellie to have a word. Ellie? Can you come here, Ellie, please? Yes, come here. We are live from YouTube. Can I have a word with you?
Sure.
So Ellie is an artist.
Yeah.
And she was a student here last year.
Yeah.
And now she's a mentor here.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about your experience here this year as a mentor?
Yeah, for me, it was very interesting because I haven't had a lot of time to sort of work up through the series of maybe being a TA or and then moving to being a mentor. I sort of went straight from being a student to a mentor because I'm a bit older than a lot of the students are. So I think that was part of the reason. And I didn't really realize how important what an opportunity it is as a mentor to develop a relationship with the students and a relationship that's going to last, that can last for quite a while. So one of the things I observed other mentors doing was spending a lot of time with students, really an intense intellectual exchange, working together on code, teaching each other, because I know the mentors learn as much as maybe even more than the students do in some cases from students, from each other. So that was something that was a bit of a surprise to me, is how much the mentors get out of this experience. And then also how that relationship with a student becomes one of like dynamic intellectual exchange that can extend beyond the session, beyond the research institute 3 weeks. So that for me was probably the biggest surprise and insight.
This is really nice. And what can you tell us about the students? What did you observe about the students? Are they having a good time, working on their projects, making new friends? What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, everybody is, well, first of all, it's an incredibly diverse group of students, and I'm sure everybody comments on the diversity of the student group. It's remarkable. Last year was diverse. I thought, how could it ever be? How could they do this? And once again, it's just an incredible variety of people, different interests, people coming from all over the world, different languages spoken, different perspectives. Academic disciplines are, a range of academic disciplines are represented. I think some of the students are quite sociable, and other students kind of tend to be a little bit more, focused on their work or more introverted. And, what I think is nice is it's a community that's very respectful of the variety of ways that people like to socialize. So there are students who really love to be social, and there's, and they find each other, and then there are the students who are kind of a little bit more quiet, and people are respectful of their space to be more quiet. And yet, at meals and there's always an opportunity to kind of have a conversation with people who might, be the quiet people, and you sit down at a meal and you talk to them and you get to understand what they're doing. And it's really nice.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ellie, for this nice
No problem.
conversation. Hi, say hi to everybody. We're live.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Watching.
I have no idea, but
5.
maybe more. Yeah, I think so. So thank you very much. So let's go around a little bit. I think that a good person for us to talk is Phileas. So we're live on YouTube here.
Okay. Hello.
So how are you?
I'm well. Yeah.
So Phileas is a mentor here. It's not the first time, right?
Yeah. It's actually the 3rd time I've been a mentor. And
Were you a student here once?
yes, in 2023, I was I did the program right after I graduated from my bachelor's degree, and I came here to do a sort of an environmental science geography kind of project, and I ended up working on a project that was about was connecting to a bunch of NASA APIs to basically build an interface to Wolfram language so that you could import all sorts of remote sensing imagery from NASA Gibbs and the NASA Appears services.
And what can you tell us about the Wolfram Summer Research Institute this year?
Well, it's been really fantastic. There are some amazing projects. There actually, I'm just looking at some of the posters of these are the posters by my own mentees. But yeah, I guess I've just started walking around and really engaging with these different projects and asking people questions about what they're doing. There are some really fantastic ideas being sort of shared around. I mean, what to say that's concrete? People who come to this program always have they have some clear idea of what they want to do, maybe, or some understanding of what they want to do when they get here. And then usually there's some negotiation around what project they end up choosing. And it's quite frequently quite common for people to get a project that ends up being a bit different from what they had imagined. And then by the end of the 3rd week, people have just kind of completely made the project their own. And it just becomes it just comes into being. It's really exciting to see sort of how these things come out. I mean, I don't know.
Let's take a peek at this one.
Sure. Okay. So this is
Where's City?
Yes. So this is a project about essentially automating the process of detecting tree cover on geographic imagery. And so the way that we did this is we picked some geographic region that we wanted to study. We connected to a remote sensing service that's a service by the European Space Agency called ESA World Cover. And then that classifies the landscape into a bunch of different classes based on the type of land cover that you have in a different, one place or another. So it can tell you, over here we have urban settlements, and over here we have something like, I don't know, mangroves or forested areas. And so then we can take that imagery, that classification, and extract a mask of the forest cover from that. And we can detect the edges on that mask, and that tells us where the tree line is. And then we can basically wrap all of this into a function, and it becomes something that you can use for any piece of landscape that is within the geographic range of the ESA World Cover dataset. And so this just kind of works everywhere in the world, and it's kind of fantastic. And I don't know. I mean, I'm just really thrilled every time I'm here. I learn so much from the projects that I get to work on with my mentees, from them as well, and the kinds of things that they bring, because they often have areas, domain knowledge in areas that I have no specific competency in, other than sort of general programming competency and maybe some slight overlap in interests. And so it's just a really fantastic opportunity, I think, for me at least. I get a lot out of it every year, and I hope that the people who it seems to me that the people who come here also do.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Phyllis.
Yes,
Well,
thank
nice talking to you. So let's get some walking here and see if we can talk to someone. Oh, we have an interesting project here. Julian, can we talk? Where's your poster? We're live from YouTube. So can you give us a little bit of your time so we can talk about your project? So where is it? Oh, we were just here.
Yeah, right in the corner. Yeah.
So can you please tell us what you do and where you come from?
Yeah. So I'm originally from New York City. That's where I teach. I teach in Bushwick, Brooklyn, and I'm a math teacher.
All right. So can you tell us a little bit about your project, especially for those who are not experts in the field?
Yeah. So one of the biggest things we deal with in education is this issue of having environments where neither the teacher nor the student actually know anything about computation or are technically proficient. And that's for a lot of reasons. But a lot of the curriculum that's out there right now for teaching computer science is built for computer science teachers, and we don't have a lot of those. And so what I do in my work is basically develop a framework for basically people in this room, right? Researchers, people who know Wolfram, that know how to develop, to be able to adapt whatever they're interested in for a K through 12 audience. And specifically for teachers that might have never opened an IDE before, that might not know how to code, to be able to introduce their students to computational thinking.
That's amazing. Can you share a little bit about what was your experience like in the past 3 weeks here?
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. I really loved the sort of track system where I was able to really have these deep conversations with people in the educational innovation track, which is what I was in, and also just people outside of the educational innovation track. I think my project was quite interdisciplinary. It sort of focuses on anybody's interests. And so being able to be in such close proximity with people doing really cool things just, was inspirational.
That's amazing. Thank you very much for your time, Julian.
Thank you.
Have a nice poster session, and let's see if we can find someone else to talk here. Let's see. So just to show to people are there still discussing. A lot of people discussing here. Just let's give it, yes. Let's show to everyone their posters. And let's see. Yes. Hi. Do you have 1 minute? We're live on YouTube. Would you like to talk a little bit about your poster? Where's your poster? Let's go. So it's in the same place that we just got here. Oh, Phileas talked a little bit about your project. So can you tell us a little bit where you're coming from? What's your background?
Well, my name is Siddhi Patel, and I'm coming from Florida. I'm doing my PhD with environmental science in Florida Institute of Technology. And I did my research with satellite images and creating mask and, synthetic bands and everything. So I wanted to, make it easy because that process was too long. It's like it took me like a year to figure it out. And then I guess with the Wolfram, I did it in like 15 days, which is very like good. I created mask using the data and, compare it with elevation data, and it was way easy. So I'm very happy and I learned a lot here. And
What can you tell us a little bit about this past 3 weeks about your experience? What can you tell us?
well, it was really good. People were helping me a lot. Do I don't talk much, but still, I always went to my mentor, and he's like, "Okay, we can do this, we can do that, we can create this way," and he was really helpful. And yeah, whenever like I come to you or Stephanie, people were helpful. It was really good experience. I ate like good amount of food. I was not expecting that I will find vegetarian, but it was good. And everybody is really cheerful, helpful, and I really enjoyed my time here.
Okay, thank you very much, Siri. Have a nice poster session. So let's walk around a little bit. I see someone that we might want to talk to. Let's see if we can grab someone from here. Let's see. Hi, we're live from YouTube. Can you talk a little bit about your poster? Just let's push it a little bit here. Can you just grab your poster and bring a little bit closer to us, please? All right. All right. So Maria, tell us a little bit about you and your background, where you're coming from.
Right, I'm from Colombia. I study in Tilburg University in the Netherlands, and I'm in my second year of cognitive science and AI.
And can you tell a little bit about what your project's about here?
Yeah, so basically what we're doing is observers theory in cellular automata. And then, well, the first question was to find periodicity and persistence in observers. So what we did is we took 2 periods and then we marked that as the observer. And then the interesting question was how robust can these observers be? And yeah, and then basically what we did is took 100 experiments, we put some perturbations on them, and then we measure how persistent they will be.
And what can you tell us about your past 3 weeks experience here? Was that fun? Was that worth it?
Yes, it was really nice. And I think, to be honest, this has been one of the most enriching academic experiences I have so far, because you don't get only a perspective from one field. So I think a lot of times in academia, if you are doing math, then you are only narrowing everything to math, or you're only narrowing everything to biology. And for example, our project was in observers theory, which is more on the, it's really not, it's a framework about that goes in many different fields. So it was necessary for us to think about the math, to think about the physics, to think about the philosophical implementations, So it was really enriching for me to don't kind of like narrowing intellectual to one point and moving towards these multidisciplinary approaches.
All right, thank you very much. Hope you have fun and have a nice poster presentation. So let's move on a little bit and let's talk to other people here. Hi, can I interrupt you just a little bit? Yeah? Can you talk about your poster a little bit, Alexandra? Yeah. So can you please tell us where you're coming from and what's your background?
Hi, I'm Alexandra. I came from Romania, and then I moved to the UK for my studies. And I do non-commutative algebra generally. And here I've got the opportunity to work a bit with computations and with flowers.
So can you tell us a little bit about your project, like in a very simple way that people who are not expert in the field can understand?
Okay. So we have some elements that we form more elements with. So we just stuck together the elements, and then we apply some rules. And these rules can be, hey, if you have A and B, we can move it and be BA. So when we apply these rules, we have this gigantic cloud of words that seems to be condensing into a certain number of clusters. So we have this really nice droplets that we call there. And they seem to be, in some cases, their numbers seem to be equal to the cardinality of the set that we've taken. And this is what I've been doing for the past.
All right. And what can you tell us about your experience here at the school? Like having to work with your mentor, having to meeting a lot of people. What can you say about your experience here?
Well, definitely it was intense, but I think in a good way, because I did learn a lot of things. I did learn how to code in Mathematica, and I haven't before. And also it was very diverse. I talked to a lot of people from all different backgrounds, and I think that was a really nice experience for me.
Amazing. Thank you very much for your time and have a nice poster session. Great. Can we talk to you, Brian? You thought you were gonna get rid of it, right? So Brian is TA here, right? TA is teaching assistant. So what does teaching assistant do, Brian?
Mostly just assist students with coding and maybe explore ideas that they're working on. And one of the main TA tasks would be, if a student has problem writing code, you direct them to the right resources, the right functions, obviously, and then tell them like the best practices of writing code. So that's one of the major things.
Great. And what can you tell us about your experience here? Was that fun? Did you learn a lot?
Well, my experience has been fun. I've met so many interesting people, smart people, and coming from Kenya, it's a long way from home, and it's very fun that I can meet very interesting people who are thinking big ideas, foundational ideas, and I can explore those ideas and also apply those to my own experiences and make decisions based on that. So it was a great experience.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Brian. Let's move on. I think what we can do now is we can switch. Let me just have this Steven in my background. Is that correct? Is he in my background? Yeah. So we have talked to a lot of people here. We have talked to a lot of mentors, a lot of teaching assistants that is called TAs. And I think that this was a very nice opportunity so you guys can have a feeling of what's this poster session is about. You see that this is a very intense 3 weeks program. People come from all over the world, have mentors with different backgrounds. And I hope you have enjoyed this. And this is, stay tuned in the channel because we're going to be posted a lot of videos, especially from testimonial videos from high school, from people from the high school program and people from the Summer Research Institute too. So stay tuned. I hope you have enjoyed this as much as I did. And thank you very much for being here. So goodbye and talk to you.